Right, hi everyone. Welcome to the kitchen. We've got Karen on questions.
Comments? Yes.
Comments.
Good evening, Marion.
Evening, and Terry on camera.
Hello everybody.
Right, so I'm going to get straight in because I've got lots to show you. And the first thing though, I'm going to show you about the stamen cutter that Lee used, the Grandiflora Rose, the other day. And I said I'd quickly show you the how to use this. Well, you weren't quite sure what it was. And it's this cutter out of the Grandiflora Rose set. So it's that one. And I'll be using the smaller of the two flower cutters here. So, and yeah, I'll explain about that one in a moment. So I'm using flour paste. And I have been just having a little play with the Sugar and Crumbs new sugar paste with Tylo in it, and it's looking really good. So I'm going to have a good play with that over the weekend and make some flowers with that. So it looks really good. Right, so as you know, I use Trex. So it's Trex or flour, as long as it's a white vegetable fat, and I rub a little bit of that on the board. And so I'm just going to start off. Oh, I'll tell you what. Start off. I'll make a little cone first. So I'm not going to have this attached to the stick permanently. If I wanted these flowers, this is the flower I'm making. So if I wanted these flowers on a wire or on a cocktail stick to stick into the side of a cake, then I would put this, wet the stick and push it. Just use water, it would hold it, but I push it into there, maybe a tad long. And leave that to dry. But I'm going to actually take them off. So the flower, the whole point of this is the whole flower is edible. So if you start sticking wires in, then it becomes a non-edible. Right, so just going to, as I say, put a little bit of Trex on there. And then...
Well, Lee's watching now, so we can watch how this comb's work used.
Oh, I loved your roses, Lee. I thought that was fabulous. Yeah. Great stuff. Okay, so I'm putting Trex on. Well, I loved all your flowers, not just the roses. I'm only saying that one because they were our cutters. Now, you can see from where I used this before, it's just got a few little bits of icing in. So this is where my toothbrush comes in handy, in case anyone saw that on the side and thought I was going to start doing my teeth. It's actually to just flick any little bits out of there, so you can just keep that clear.
And we can just say it's a toothbrush you only use for flour.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not going to say, and I've washed it. Right, so then give it a little wiggle on there, and then you just hold the paste and pull.
Ooh,
so that's got rid of that. And then on the other ones, because most of our flowers, you will get a little calyx cutter, not calyx cutter, a stamen cutter like this. Various sizes to go with the petals, the size of the petals that we have. So I'm just going to lift that up. With some of them you can poke it from the back, but with this one, and turn it over. So with this one you can't, you've got to sort of flick it out. And then, a bit boring, but you're just going to cut each of these down. I could have done that with the cutter, but I thought it might be a little bit too thin, start catching, so it's easy to do. And then, and I'll show you another use for this later on, that's why I am using it tonight. Just taking a little bit of that away, and then I'm going to use water. Where's my water brush there? Along like so. Ooh. Lay that on and just lift to start it and roll. So keeping everything level at the base there, nice flat base. That's the only thing, because I haven't stuck the cocktail stick and let it dry, it will move about, but it's only to hold that piece of paste. So I'm just moistening that and I'm just pulling these stamens round it, and you do that 3 times. So it's a bit of a bore, but anyway, never mind. Okay, so roll. Just lift that, Trex the cutter, place that on, turn it over with a little shimmy, and then hold that side and just give a good pull. Don't be too nervous about that. So I'm just turning it over. You can see I've turned it over because each of these has a little sort of dimple in it, so I want that to be on the inside when I wrap it. Okay, so just go along. I'm not cutting any boards here. This knife, in case Carol's watching and I can hear her playing.
No, we use palette knives on the board, absolutely.
Okay,
it's just very sharp knife we don't use on the board.
No,
and pizza cutters.
Right, so again, a little water down there, place that on, lift and roll it.
Well, there's already ideas coming in what they could use this cutter for as well.
Yeah, well, I'm going to use it for grass later.
Well done.
I got in there first.
I didn't even have to mention it, did I there, Marion?
No. Right, so again, roll it. And like with all patchwork cutters, I did say to someone that I think her name was Susan. I'm sorry if I can't remember names. I can't remember names anymore. But I did say I was going to use or show her how to use the Las Vegas cutter tonight, but I'll have to put that one on hold for now, only because when I looked we were out of stock and I didn't want to create a rush. Right, so hold, give a pull. So, and as I say, if you do get any bits left in when you finish using it, hot soapy water for the cutter, but use your toothbrush if you're still using it. Monster eyelashes.
Yeah, I was just thinking
Yeah.
that.
You see, we're all on the same wavelength.
It's when you see a cutter or you see something, don't you think, oh, what
Yeah.
can I use that for? And all the different ideas come out, don't they?
Little
Mine goes
little
well.
crowns. If you don't separate
Yeah.
them like that and you wrap it round, say a cardboard tube, then they make nice little crowns for teddies for parties and things. So yeah, so moisten that. Okay, and then pop that on. The cutter itself, the flower cutter that Lee showed you. So I'm just going to bring that up a bit. It's a nice, that one. It's a nice open cutter for brush embroidery. I use it for that a lot. And so what you do with this, you bring it in. Just tell me if I'm lifting it out of shot, won't you, Terry?
Yes.
So you just touch the ends like that, and then dip it into your Sugar Tex. I'll take that off for a minute. Which is, I've got mine in my little pot. I notice you've got one in your cupboard there. So you can use anything for the polleny bit. I mean, you can use ground rice and semolina, any of that. So that goes like that. And then when it goes into the flower, do you want me to show you to make that flower, or should I just keep it at the stamens? I'll show you how to do the flower. I got a vibe then. Somebody's sending me messages, but anyway, I'll just keep that there. So for the flower then, still flour paste, and I've got a little former here. Now this one was one of the Cell Cakes formers from many years ago. Remember Cell Cakes?
Yeah, yeah.
But if you can't get hold of these, just get a piece of foil like that, crunch it round, and you need a round base to it. Now you could use your apple cartons, I suppose, in the supermarket, but I put something like that in and really sort of work it round and then tip it out. I can get me lemon out. It's the only thing I have home, it was round. And then push it the other way so that you're making, oh, hang on, it should have done it that way first, actually. That way. Then you take it out. And then you push it in like that, so that you've got this part coming out. I'll show you now on that one. But you've got a rounded base. You don't want anything flat. So that's the one there. So you can see I've got this sort of rounded. So I started off like that, and then I turned it over and plonked that in the middle. Because that's the nearest I could find to that shape. So you can see it sort of lip and then a soft curve like that. If anyone can find these, Carol will, won't she?
And if you did want to do the flower, they'd be very happy.
They do? Okay, right. Okay, so, all right then. So for the flower, I'm just going to, again, on Trex, let me just put this flour paste back in. I do tend to sling things all over the place, so tidy. Right. So when you roll, don't lift your paste up and down like I did just then. You want it stuck down on your non-stick board, sort of. Right, a little bit of Trex on there.
We've got a smashing audience with over 200 now, Marion.
Oh, fab. Lovely. You might be here for a long time tonight, but anyway. I'll work quick.
Always quick, Marion.
So are you using Squire's flour paste?
No,
I'm
I'm not.
To know what paste you
No,
use.
I use the Renshaw flour paste.
Renshaw flour paste, babe.
Yeah.
And you've coloured it yourself with your different colours, haven't you?
I have. Well, I tend to use dust colours, and I've used a lot of the Wonder Dusts for colouring in. That one was actually no, it wasn't Mulberry. It was this one, Wonder Dust Pink.
Is it pink shimmer? There's pink shimmer, or there was.
No,
it
was. It was no. Do you know what? I think it was the Mulberry.
Mulberry.
You can tell by how much I've used.
And they want to know, why do you store your pots upside down?
So I can see the colours straight away. Because if they're that way, and sometimes at shows, people help me to tidy up, and the wrong lid goes back on. So it could say on there, it says rainforest. It could say ivory. So if I have it that way up, I can see exactly what's in the pot.
Good idea, that.
Right, so nobody's going to help me to tidy up at shows now, are they? So I'm just widening these. Now, when I'm doing that, I like to use the gem bone tool, and I use the heel of the large end and sort of hook the small end around my little finger. So in the middle, left, right, left, right. If you want to texture it, then I would use the frilling stick. So let's see, there it is. So just go over again, left, right.
So is this a Grandiflora rose you're using again?
It is, yeah. You're getting a double whammy this week with this one. But, I use that one, as I say, for brush embroidery. So if I was doing a wedding cake and up the side, I was thinking of doing that actually. That's one of the cakes on the Dem Day. I'm here, aren't I, June or something?
Yes, you are.
Right, so still the same thing, but just coax that back. So you press your paste right on the edge and just stroke it back like that to curl those petals back.
And while you're doing that, are you going to CI this year?
In November?
Yeah, cake in.
Well, it was a definite no. Then it got to a maybe, and now it's a probable. That's all I'm saying. I think I'm going on my own, but anyway. I'll use this this one that I've made here. So I'm going to turn that back over. There's no need to actually cup it. You can do if you say you were going to sort of do a different type of flower. You can make a great big Christmas rose with these as well, anyway, whatever. So I'm just going to pop that in there, right? And you can stop at any layer, but I'm just going to do, what did I do on that one?
Well, Claire's happy with probable going to CI.
We've got a few things happening, and it all depends on those, that's all I'm saying. But and I think Tracy and I are very near each other if we do end up going.
And can you eat, Viv wants to know, can you eat this paste?
Oh gosh, yeah.
So if it's on the side of a cake in that, or a decoration, you can actually eat this, so you've not used wires and everything else with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, perfectly okay. Yeah, it's only when you get to things like Artista Soft and stuff like that, it's got a glue in it, potato flour and a glue. You can't really use, say they're edible, but this is fine. It dries hard, hopefully, but so does royal icing. It's just crisp rather than hard. It's crisp. But yeah, you'll always find somebody at the party who decides to eat one anyway. Don't you?
You do. It's usually the children as well.
Yeah. I don't know. It's usually the husbands when they're on their 8th pint, and it's like, look at me, I'm going to eat one of these. And everyone's like, oh no, one step away from dad dancing. Right, so just repeat. So just stroke that. It's quite a lot of pressure on there, and it's just catching that edge. Because if you go too far in, you're just doing that. You're not getting any movement on the end there. So some people do it with cocktail sticks. I do it with that. So turn that over, and then a little water in there. I might just do 2 layers because I don't want to get bogged down with this because I have got a lot to show you. Anyway, so that one then you would lay in there between petals that are underneath, and then you press it. The nice thing with this is you can push the foil in, out, whatever, just to make the shape that you want lifted. You can put a little bit of foam or tissue paper or something underneath those petals. And then I would do, as you see here, I would do a 3rd one on there. And then again, you can use your glue. I'll just sort that one out. And then that would go in there, but it looks better with that 3rd layer. And then you would get your cocktail stick or your Dresden tool and just begin to open those stamens out. Like that. And then when it's dry, again, I'm going to use my mulberry. I will get it right. And a number 6 brush, something like that. And then when it's dry, you would then just start going round the outside edge and bring your colour in.
So what did you dip the stamens in? What was it you dipped it into?
I dipped it in sugar. I always say Sugartex. And I saw it in here before. You've got one. The mimosa. So it's Sugartex. It's a pollen. It gives the appearance of pollen. Okay? Do you want me to? You're all okay? You can get it in white and in brown. So if you got the white, you could colour it yourself with some dust. So are you all okay with that? So you can see the difference that final layer makes. It does look better.
Thank you for that little extra there. That was great. So that
you now
know how to use the comb out of the Grandiflora set.
You do, and I'll be using it again after. Just for a little. I'll probably pipe the grass really, but I will show you a little bit what it looks like. Don't let me go off with that later. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do.
Searching you.
Yeah. Good luck with that one with all the colours. Right, so this is the Fantasy Flower set. I have shown you this before, but I want to use some of them on this cake. the shed cake. I just have a little. Do you mind if I just have a little slurp of water?
I'm just going to tell you now. We all watched Lee's live on Monday, and he did that gorgeous bouquet. He forgot. He'd shown you how to do filler flowers, and then he forgot to put them in the bouquet. So when you see the pictures on the website, you will see the flowers, the filler flowers have been put into the bouquet, and they are beautiful. And we will show you in a little while. If you could pick it up there for me, if you could, Marion, that'd be great. So look, he's managed to put the he didn't tape them in, so they're just.
She tells me now. Right, okay.
So look at that, aren't they absolutely beautiful, gorgeous? Yeah. So that was what Lee did on Monday night. Yeah, lovely. Now you see, I'm fiddling now. Sorry, Lee, but I'm just tipping that one up. I'm tipping that one up as well. No, I'm not. I won't. Absolutely lovely. Gorgeous. Beautiful.
Yeah. Right. So I've got a selection of the fantasy flowers. So I'm going to start off with. I'm going to put some on the shed cake, and I'm going to put some on little cupcakes just to show you what they look like on those. So I'm starting off with white paste, and I'm going to cut out 2 of the I'll do the daisy here. So again, don't lift your paste up and down. Whoever it was said about the Vegas cutters, it's the same technique with all of them. And what you need is firm paste, which is the flour paste, which I've shown you. Roll it thin and don't lift it up and down. It's important that you stick that down because, and so you roll it nice and thin, because when you put Trex on the cutter and you press firmly over the cutter and you flick that away, then you can peel the paste away and it will cook cleanly. Yeah? I'm going to cut 2 of these. I didn't Trex that cutter, but there might be enough Trex on there. Yeah. You'll soon find out if you haven't got enough Trex or if you've forgotten, because it may stick in your cutter. So I'll just put that to one side. Hold that down. Right. So then I would put that onto a little dusting sheet. I'll use this. So I've just used, you can either use a plastic bag. I've got a piece of laminated paper. And I know this is white on white, so it may not show up very well for you, but just bear with me. And I want some pink. Doesn't really matter what shade you do. So I'm just going around the outside edge. So I'm bringing the colour. I find it better, or something on thin petals, to actually do your colouring at this stage rather than when they're dry, because it's easier to break them when you're brushing with the dried petals. So we'll just go round. Forget about the centre for now, don't worry about that. So bring that colour in. Okay, and then I'll tell you what I haven't brought.
What?
It's my little paint palette. I bet. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I am having a senior moment because it's right in front of me, and I thought I've left all my flowers at home, and there it is. Oh, God. I'm having these moments. We did a demonstration day, and I have to thank Carol enormously for the thing that she sent over for the raffle. We did a demonstration day. We raised £500 for the vet crew in Ukraine who are they're all having a terrible time, but yeah. And it was a fantastic day. We had a really good turnout. So thank you, Carol, for that, because she really sort of helped me out.
That's superb. That well done on raising that much money. That's great.
Yeah, it was good. But the thing is, I was making Molly had sent a mould, and I was making one of Molly's moulds like a rabbit. Well, only a mother would love it, because it. Hands up, it did look. So I stripped it off and I said, you know what, I'll redo that and I'll send a picture to Molly when I've done it. So I'll be doing that this weekend, and I will send you a picture. But, oh my goodness. And it was one of those, because I didn't have a lot of time to set up. I like to get there about an hour before and really get set up. But the karate were in there, and you do have to go around with a bit of a spray when they've been in.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I had about 20 minutes, if that, to set up. everything, you know, cake stall. Oh, my grandchildren did the cake stall and they just did so well.
Oh, brilliant.
I know, and they're only like 6 and she's nearly 4, and they did so well. Anyway, so
I
thank
bet
you
they
all.
thoroughly enjoyed themselves as well.
It was fantastic. It was a really good day. Yeah, and I think everyone was so pleased to just get out there again, you know, because I haven't seen them from our dem days. I haven't seen them for ages, and it was just lovely. Right, so what I've done there, I've just put one on top of the other, put a little bit of water, laid the other one between the first layer, a little ball of paste in the middle, and then I'm using this little one that looks like well,
That's like a cog, doesn't it?
yeah, whatever it is, whatever it reminds you of. And then I'm going to put a little bit of water in here.
Trust you.
What is it? What does it look like?
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Yes,
Oh, sunshine, yeah, a little mini sun. Oh, you see, that's nice, isn't it?
Only our Terry comes out with the obvious.
Yeah, we're looking for something really technical. It's the sunshine.
Well,
Right, so I'm just going to place that on top.
Carol Kay said it was an amazing day. She must have been with you.
Oh,
It
yes.
was an amazing day.
Yes, it was. It was just so good to see everyone again. I'm just going to press this. There's a little bit too much water in there, so it's a bit slidey abouty. But I'm just pressing around the outside edge. So we're hoping to have more anyway. It's only in our local community centre. They were great. There's no charge for the hall and everything. You know, everybody wanted to help, so it was really
That's
good.
lovely. That's great.
Yeah.
When everybody comes together.
Oh yeah. So I'm just putting a little bit of water in there. So the next one I've got is ours
In June.
in June. The den here, yeah. Well, wherever. Not here. Is
No,
it?
it's in the warehouse, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some of the pollen on top, and then when it's dried, you can tip the excess out. So that's that little flower. Then out of blue paste and this tiny little, I bet I've lost it. Oh no, there it is. This tiny little blue flower I've cut out here. I'm going to use these to decorate the shed. This one is actually, it's a 6 petal, so you can stretch the paste when you cut it out into a petunia shape. And I've used this one as a centre. Hang on, I'll show you. I'm galloping ahead of myself here. So a little bit of Trex. Oh, and roll that out. Okay, so I'll use this one. So you've got a good selection of the fantasy flowers, I called it, so that you can, you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be anything in particular then, does it?
Well, Carol has been updating the wish list, and you will find this on the wish list, along with our sugar paste, which Carol's put back into stock again. Remember, we are closed for the Easter weekend now, so the next dispatch will be on Tuesday.
Right, so I'm using the large end of my bone tool, so if you stretch that out, you can see that you can change the shape of that. And you can widen, you can shape, you can pull it to more of a point. And so what I've done there then, I've taken the Dresden tool and I've just gone like 2 parallel lines down each one, like so. And this one I have actually dusted after it was dried, so you can see on this one here, well, I might not have dusted that one, but on that one I have just gone round the edge. I don't know if you can see it's ever so slight shine on that one, and I've touched the ends of the stamens as you would do like a carnation or something, you know, you can just touch it onto a bit of sponge or something. But these little centres, I'm going to show you those now, so you're all right on that. So you put that into dry, and then you would make your centre. So the centre, I'm using this one, and this one you can cut out in yellow and paint the middle so they look like sunflowers, or they will do when they're on the sides of the cake. And you also get a little leaf cutter to cut out to go with that, and then you get a larger leaf cutter like these. So you've got lots and lots and lots to play with in this set.
It's a good lot, isn't it?
Yeah, but the fluffy centres are made with this. And I do want to show you about this one, because people look at it and think, oh, I bet that's really difficult because it's lots of petals on there, but it's not. You watch now, I bet it sticks. No, so. Right, so the thing is, roll it thin and plenty of tracks on there. Okay, cut 2. I'm just going to cut between those, and then you can just put your finger on, put your knife down, put your finger on and pull, pick it up. Just going to pull that, so it's just sharp, you know, like I did.
You're doing it very sharp, aren't you? Sharp,
yeah, it's a sharp
pulling.
pull.
Yeah.
Well, I've lost a little bit of that one, but it doesn't matter. So a little bit of water in the middle, and then you just gather like that. And then with this one again, I could have done a shimmy with it really, but a shimmy as in,
yeah.
but then it sticks in the cutter if you do that. So then you've got a little bit of picking out to do. If you wanted it perfect, then what you can do is get your cocktail stick, put your finger on there and go around like that. So it just takes a bit longer to do, but you are able to remove those, and that's what I've done with these. Right, so then I'm just going to moisten. Oh, wait, I keep thinking that's my water pot. Moisten that. I'm going to cut that one off. Place that in the centre. And then just gather that round like that. So you're just making a nice little fluffy centre.
That's lovely, that.
Yeah. And then you can use your scissors to cut the point off the back. A little bit of water in your flour. Obviously this flour needs colouring up with some nice blue. And then turn that over and just lift that up and pop it in there.
And then can you show us,
See.
bring the dish towards you?
Yeah, okay.
Woo!
Are you alright there?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fab.
so you can see that. And then when it's dried, you can, as I've done there, get colour on your brush, mixed with alcohol, and just tap the ends, or you can just leave it plain, fluffy like that. You could just even put those on wires or cocktail sticks and use those as little filler fluffy bits.
So can we just say, ladies, before you all keep racing off to place an order, I want you to... Marion has very kindly brought some giveaways again today. So anybody placing an order with a patchwork cutter in it tonight will go into a prize draw. It's going to be dispatched with your order. And thank you so much for bringing some prizes. That's brilliant.
You're welcome. It's a pretty one actually. It's a fan and then a little handbag. So if you cut out 2 handbags and put a little ball of paste in between the 2, sandwich them together, bend the handles back. There is a picture in there and instructions, but you make like little handbags the size to go on a cupcake. So rather than just flat, you can make little mini handbags so that it does look nice. Right, so that's a selection there. So I'm going to put that to one side, and I've got some cupcakes already iced here. Now I've used, I'll tidy up.
Yeah, just put it all over there, you're fine.
That's me tidied.
I like Marion's way of tidying, do you?
There'll be a big box on the floor over there and just keep pushing everything in. Right, so I'm going to use, now this is our polka dot cutter. So if you're doing a cake or a project and you need lots of little circles, then you can just cut these out, or you can just emboss them. So I'm going to just do these for now, embossed and painted, so I think you can see that one. These are my fresh cupcakes. I keep getting these out, but you can see the different colours that you can get in there. Like
you can't eat any of these, Terry.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jerry, I'm sorry.
Marion doesn't do the taste testing.
That's terrible, isn't it? Oh, no. Right, so.
But it does look pretty though.
Where's my rolling pin? Right, so you could roll out a whole sheet of this and cut them, or you can, as I say, emboss onto sugar paste. I'll do that in a minute. I'm just going to cut a few of these out. So Trek's over. My rolling pin just works. We must be on a slant.
Well, not usually.
Oh, it's me then. I must be holding my head on one side. Right, so you can see there I've cut them out, whereas in a minute I'll just emboss. So you can just then put them where you want on your plaque. So the easiest way, don't try and dig them out. You pull the paste. Are you all right where I put that, Terry?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So you pull the paste away, and then you can just quickly lift those
That's great.
on to wherever you want. So you're just cutting out lots. You know, if you're making sort of I was going with doing the Vegas cake. I was going to show you about doing the dice, because you know our what do you call it, the baby block cutter. If when you cut them out, you've got like the squares marked on, but if you don't turn it over and you moisten that and make a building block without turning it over, the smooth sides, so then you can do it in red, you can then stick these white dots on for the dice.
That's brilliant, that.
And it's so it works for all sorts. But I was going to do that one. I will do it in the future, but just not now. Okay, so you've got the gist here anyway. You don't need to see me do that. Right, I'll leave that as it. That I can't. It needs a half of one there and a half of one there.
You can't leave it, can you?
I can't. Do you know what? I can't. I can't walk away and go. That'll do. It won't. So it needs half of one there and the other half there. Okay, so I'll just put that to one side. So that's when they're cut out, and obviously those are that's flour paste, so they will dry crisp. But with sugar paste, I don't know what colour I've got here. I'll just do them white. Okay.
So please, if you do place an order and it has a patchwork cutter on it, if you can just put into the comments Marion's Live, and then you'll go into a prize draw to get one of those fabulous free gifts that Marion's given to us.
Cool. The little basket, the little
So
the fan's pretty, and there's a couple of cake pictures on there. So yeah.
So Lorraine's asking,
Yeah.
what's the size of the dots once they've been cut out?
About that. Which doesn't help at all. I am sorry. What size would you say?
What did you say, about a centimetre?
Centimetre.
About a centimetre,
About a
yeah.
centimetre, yes.
So that's the sort of answer that I give Jerry or anyone I'm sitting next to, because I don't drive, and they say, how far have we got to go? And I go, about that. So I do apologise for that. Right, so that is when it's just embossed onto sugar paste and put onto there, and then you can paint them all in different colours. You could also go over, I've gone over this with ivory, and then I think a nice gold on there, on the ivory, would be lovely. So
the flower set that Marion's been using just now is called Fantasy Flowers.
Fantasy Flowers, you get so many in there. Right, so then you can just paint those in. And this is which gold is that?
Is that it looks like the bright gold.
Deep rich.
Is it deep rich, is it?
Well, yes,
Oh,
that's what it says on there,
yeah.
but you never know.
No.
Because when I've opened them all and I've got lids
No, it is
everywhere.
because it is the deep rich one, that.
Is it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Right.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's so pretty, and against the ivory.
Yeah.
Um,
That was lovely sheen on that ivory,
sheen,
wasn't it? It was
yeah.
gorgeous.
yeah.
So it's very versatile. Cut to that polka dot, isn't it? Because you can use it
Oh,
in
it
a
is.
multitude of ways.
Yeah, yeah. If you just need, I mean, I for our extra large numbers especially, I put, it was a pink one, and I put black dots on, cutting these out, so when they stood up on the top of the cake, they had black dots on. But yeah, you can. So that's just painting that round. Right, that's quite effective. And then the green one, I've embossed this one just plain green, got rattling around inside there. And this one, I've embossed it. But say with your frilling stick, you can go round like that. So what I've done with this one, I've just pressed all the way around with my frilling stick. Always keep the end of the stick towards the centre. And I'm going to put a flower over that middle, so you won't see that. So I'm just going to put some of the flowers that I've made onto these now. So I think that one, which I've painted all different colours, I wouldn't particularly put a flower on, because you're going to, well, you could do, but you're going to cover most of it up.
Yeah, it takes
it away.
The
So
away, doesn't it?
probably leave that, if it's a rainbow theme,
Yeah.
you probably leave that as it is. Put those over there. And the gold may be the same, but I'll stick some of these others on. Now, you can either use a little royal icing or to attach, or just a little blob of sugar paste, not flour paste, because sugar paste is nice and soft, and even in this state, it will catch the whatever it is you're sticking on it. If you're going to use flour paste, it's just too dry, and it won't be able to sink in flour into it. You see what I mean now? So put that in the centre, moisten with a little water, and then when you put that on, you can press in the centre. Don't press your petals. So that would go on there, and then you can just put a little water at the back of one of the leaves, and that can go in there. So you could put 3 of these back to back if you wanted to have more flowers on. It depends on which they're paying for the cakes.
Absolutely. So when you've done all your cupcakes, will you bring them all back together so the ladies can have a bit of a longer look together?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they said you're working like a demon. You're working very fast.
Oh,
Quick as a flash, Marion.
I thought I'd slowed down. I'm sorry. Oh, right, okay.
You want a final presentation of all the nice times.
Okay, so I'll stick that on there. Like that. So again, you see, I'm only here like once a month, so I just try and get as much in as I can.
You certainly do. You do
But
that.
I'll try and help.
I'm going to get Guinness Book of Records there next time.
I'm going to what?
Get Guinness Book of Records. How many flowers can get made in a live?
No, you see the red dots. I wouldn't paint red dots. I would roll out your red paste and cut out and stick them on top like I did with the white ones.
Yeah.
Only because I've embossed on there, I've got a pattern to follow. I'm not just putting a random design on. So you would stick them on top and then just press down, make sure that they're all well covered. That's a bit big to go on a cupcake, isn't it? But a little cake, like a little 4-inch cake, and that on top, it would be perfect. Few leaves.
And Carol says, "Tell Marion I'm watching. Slow down."
I'll try. Oh no, yeah, I'll stick one of these on as well. That's the one I just made, isn't it? So.
And as Chantel says, she thinks they're all jealous because they can't decorate as quickly as you.
Thank you, Chantel. I've always worked. I work better under pressure of everything and everything. If I've got something to do, I will tidy drawers. I said this before. My friend Margie Ellis, we used to enter competitions, if she's watching, many years ago, Mark, and we'd phone each other up about 2 o'clock in the morning and say, "Have you done your competition piece?" "Yes." And she, no, I haven't. "I'm tidying drawers." I said, "And I'm doing exactly the same." And yet we were getting on the 6 o'clock coach to sort of the Mansfield exhibition, and we were just messing about, sort of tidying up. So I was then under pressure to get things finished. So yeah, so that's the little blue one there, but maybe touch. Hang on, let me just see if I can touch that. Where did I put the gold lid? Oh, it might still be wet. No, it's not. When I was tidying up. No, that's a pink.
Well, where did you put the gold?
I don't know. Oh, it's here. I've lost off with it. I tidied up.
So yeah, the Renshaw flour paste is okay to eat. Margaret said it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only thing that's in flour paste really, you got icing sugar, obviously. When we used to make it, and sell it many years ago. It was white shortening, egg white, gum trag, gelatine, all that sort of stuff.
So you're just touching the tops there,
I'm
aren't you?
just touching the tops, yeah, with a wet brush, and that just gives it
Just brings it to life, doesn't it?
yeah, just gives it a little bit of, because I haven't dusted the petals there, but it's just playing around with them, and that's the name of the game. It's the fantasy flowers, so it's what you want them to look like. You know, a nice, actually, the dots at the back of that in pink would look lovely. That would look nice as well.
So have you finished with those cakes now? Have you got another one to do? Because can you bring them all back on so they can see all your cakes?
I haven't got another one to do. No, not of these.
Yeah.
You want me to?
I want to bring them all back on so they can all take a nice look at them.
Right. There you go.
So there, look at those.
Okay. Do you want that?
Yeah, we might as well. This is
it?
part 1.
You want yes. Part 4 and 5 to come.
So do you all like those ladies? Aren't they absolutely gorgeous?
Right. Can I move on?
Hang on, Terry's just moving stuff.
Oh, okay. Carry on then. I'll tidy up. I'll have a drink.
Have a drink. Have a drink of water. Yeah, the love hearts are shooting up the page there. They absolutely love them. What a great idea to use the polka dot cutter there. It's very versatile. As you said, you also can make dice with it as well. You're doing a Las Vegas theme.
Yeah,
absolutely
they put the white dots on the dice.
Yeah.
Perfect size. Yeah, for that.
They all love those, Marion. Absolutely love it. And they say lovely. And thank you for showing them.
Okay, that's great. So I'm going to move on now to our. The shed is actually going to go onto a cake, so I'm going to do that next. So, put those out of the way for now. And I'll put those to one side for now. Right, so, galloping down here. Okay, so I've just iced a dummy ready. To texture it, when you've covered it in sugar paste, and this is a great way of, you haven't got to worry about too much about your covering, because you go over with your pot brush. Now I like to use a pot brush for texturing. I just find that with a nail brush, it's too rigid, the design. You know, this one, it's nice and round, so you're just going to get a really nice sort of textured effect. Then I've cut out a pattern out of a piece of paper which has got a recipe on it, but it's the height of your cake, right? So these are going to be steps down from the top of the cake where the shed is going to be down to the garden, okay? So you cut out from the top of your cake down to the bottom, and then they're quite deep steps, these, so he's obviously got long legs. I'll just put that over there for now. Imagine him plodding down.
Yeah, Carol's on now. Carol, have a look at that. We could say they're really, really good bags. The Culprit Small Silicone Finished Paper Piping Bags, 5-inch, pack of 10, £199.
Well, say that again.
Carol will alter that for us now.
Oh.
All I can say is
I'll have some of those.
They must be really, really good ones.
Oh,
yeah, we'll get that one changed for you. Thank you for pointing that out.
Right, I bet they flew out. Right, so I'm going to now. What I've done here, and I haven't brought enough green sugar paste, but you can get the gist. You roll out your piece of sugar paste like so, right, and then you put that on top of it. And then you're going to cut. So it's only sugar paste, not flour paste, this. And you would cut all the way round, up the steps, down the side, down the side, down the side. And so then you put that, you haven't got to be too particular with that. So you'd have that, and you'd put that on the side of your cake. So I've got mine here, so I can show you. Okay. And then I have just done that. Are you okay with that? So I've just gone all over that with that, and then leave that to dry. And just put that to one side. Are you all okay with that? You're all happy? Yep. And then for the board, and I have forgotten to put my brown ribbon. I wanted brown ribbon round here, but
I've got some.
Oh, I might
If
do
you want
that
it
after.
later,
Yeah,
I've got
that,
some,
it just makes such a
Finishes it off.
difference
Yeah,
when you get that.
absolutely.
So that's great. Thank you. So this, all I've done with that is I've used a ruler. I've got my metal ruler somewhere.
So that brush that Marion was using to do the stippling effect, it's just a pot brush.
It's called a pot brush. You just get them from any same. I got mine off the internet years ago, but yeah, I think so. I've seen them in Sainsbury's
I remember
as well.
when I did a course with you at Renshaw's, you gave everybody a pot brush to use.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's going back a bit, isn't
Going back a
it?
bit.
Hey, what did we do? I can't remember.
We did a toy box and we did a toy box and we did another
with
cake as well, yeah.
Yeah, that was some going, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Made you work quick there. So anyway, for the lines here, I just use a ruler, and so that when the cake goes on there, these are going to be where all the vegetables and things are growing in there. Okay, so I've got some royal icing here. You could, if you haven't got royal icing, just use a bit of softened sugar paste. But I'm just going to put this cake on my board, and then I'm going to pipe some grass. I might have gone a bit near the front there. No, that's all right. Okay, choose your best bit. That's going to be the front, and then pop that on. And I'm setting it towards the back, so I've got plenty of room here for my veg. Just turn that round. So he's going to come out of there, plod, plod, plod down there, and then right. That's fine. Right. So I'm going to sort of just put some grass round, and that's where this cutter would come in great, because you can cut out in green and then attach your grass, but I'm going to pipe it on just because it's quicker. But if you have got that, then perfect for grass. So I'll just put some of my royal icing into my little pot. Karen kindly dug out for me before. Always keep your royal icing covered. Years ago, when we were, many years ago, we used to go on classes with Audrey Holding, and she, bless her, she's not with us anymore, but she was a fantastic royal icer, and she used to put it through a pair of new tights. Old tights, new tights, and she'd put the outfit piece and put it in, and then squeeze it out into her piping bag, because she'd be piping with 00,
Wow.
or
Yeah,
treble,
or
are
double.
so fine, like, you know. So there's the slightest
You don't want the slightest little lump in
little
there,
lump,
and it
and
just
that would be
blocks
it.
it,
Yeah,
doesn't
it'd
it?
be blocked, and you know, if you are doing royal icing, never put anything. Oh, never put anything up the tube. Up the tube. Don't, you know, if it blocks, don't stick a pin up the tube, because your piping nozzle, especially the fine ones, will split. And if that's happened, when you pipe, your icing will just continually curl. You'll never be able to drop a line. It will just curl and curl and curl. You might as well throw it out, or just keep it for cutting circles, the large end.
Marion Goodall says, oh yeah, I remember doing the tights trick for the tiny nozzles.
Yes, yeah. Who was that?
Marion Goodall.
Right.
No, sorry, Margaret Goodall.
Margaret Goodall.
Sorry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I'm glad you did say they were new tights though.
I know, I did.
That got me.
So Margaret, yes, I know
Yeah.
Margaret's son. I colored that brown instead of green, but I needed brown anyway, so I'll do a green one now. I got all carried away, thinking of Audrey. Yes, that's the good old days with the royal icing. Yes, we often have a little chat about that with Margaret. I'll tell you who's really good, like run-outs and royal icing and things like that, is Karen Davis. Now you think, a lot of people think she does moulds. She's one of the best cake decorators around, she is. But as with all of us, we all started off just part of the British Sugar Craft Guild, going to competitions, going to classes, and then you start a business, like me with patchwork cutters, Karen with her moulds, and you don't get into so much the usual, you know, the old-fashioned cake decorating, if you like, but all the run-outs and stuff. She's absolutely brilliant. Right. So, I'm not going to use the piping nozzle, so I haven't got to put this through very tight. You'll be pleased to know. Right, so piping bags. Where have I put those? Sorry, I've got a dash down here. They're here somewhere. There they are.
Oh, these are great fun.
How many hundreds a dozen?
Yeah, Carol has amended it all now. She says she's just doing a special deal.
I know paper's gone up, but... Okay, so I'm just going to... I always think of this being like a temperature chart. Am I okay piping here?
Yes.
Sorry, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm just going to go... I don't need a bit of hole in that. Let's see. Okay, and then you get your brush. Do with that one really, but it's got a funny colour on it. And then I'm just going to just coax that up with my damp brush. I don't normally hang over the cake like this. Okay, it doesn't matter about that bit, because you want to put a few bits here and there, because the plants will be growing in the garden. So just coax that. Keep wiping your brush down as you go. And then before it dries, if you want flowers in it, then you can go back and to the cut out flowers that we had before. And then just pop a few of these around the side. Some high, some low. Put some there. This one, there's going to be a step down, but this one you could do a long one, have a bit of a sunflower thing going on. And then just use your paintbrush to just tidy things up and coax things around a little bit, put a bit more green here and there, and then just continue. Damp brush. Are we all okay with that?
Yeah. They're saying this is so good, Marion.
Good. It does look like a temperature chart though, doesn't it? Or a heartbeat,
Well,
is
they've
it?
all been saying here, it looks like their heartbeats watching you doing this.
And then just coax it up, just drag it up. Just gives it a bit of texture as well, doesn't it? And then every so often you can stick your sunflowers on as well. And of course you could cut out these in different colours, and when you've got, if you're making flowers or anything really, and you've got any bits of paste left, just cut out lots of little flowers like this, and then you're ready to pop them on.
And you can just, you just store them?
Just store them in well, I don't know where I saw it, but somebody came up with the idea of using, you know, like medicine or tablet containers. You could just store them in that, but even just cardboard boxes. Just coax that. I mean, you could put some nice big bushes and things round. You can go to town with those. Right, they're nearly there now. Round I would go around this the step. But I'm going to show you about, just put green here and there. The steps that will be covered. Bring that round.
So they're loving those little flowers. Marion's like a little Duracell bunny. And no wonder the grass is long, he's got to carry the lawnmower down those steps.
Hello.
Oh, you're so funny, you lot.
The thing is not to let, I know it's meant to look sort of rough, but don't let your brush build up with icing, because then you're just brushing, you're not using a brush, you're using a clump of icing to move the grass around. So just, I think the grass has got longer as I've got around the back. Just put a few bits here and there. A little bit on there. I should have, well, I know sunflowers do have quite a thick stem, but not quite as thick as this. But it'll be fine. Save me making another bag. Maybe a few more blue ones. I mean, you can, as I say, if you've been cutting these out from old bits of paste, you're going to have a really nice selection of colours.
And how do you store them, Marion? If you
in small boxes, something like medicine boxes or things like that, but nothing really airtight, especially for the larger flowers.
Yeah.
Nothing airtight. I hope you've all been keeping your little pop things of silica gel that you got with your test kits. You know, the test kits we had, and you used to get, you got a little bag of silica gel, perfect for throwing in with your flowers, because that absorbs moisture. That's why they're in the, they were in your test kits. So, yeah. If nothing else, at least you got those. Be the drastic way to get them. Right, I'll just put a little sunflower there. Might as well use them.
I love those sunflowers, they're gorgeous.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're just, you can use them for anything. We didn't make them to be as sunflowers, but it's the colouring, isn't it?
It is.
You can just put them.
You can have them as big daisies as well, couldn't you?
Yeah.
White and that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I've run out now, but anyway. Right, so that's that bit on there. Now I'm going to, if you were going to make a few veggies to go on there, I am going to cut out all the bits in a moment, but I just want to, I'll just put that to one side, and a little bit of white. I've got a little piping nozzle somewhere. Oh, that's it. So if you've got a little star tube, now this is one of the early ones, the Becknell 44. And where's that little flower that we had before? We'll use that one. So obviously you're thinking, well, I know how to make a cauliflower, but white paste would be good. So if you've got clean hands, that'd be even better. But yeah, so roll out your I got away with that. I hadn't put Trex on that cutter, so that was a bit hopeful. Right, and then I'm going to pop that onto a sponge pad. I mean, this is the fun bit, because you're just going to sit and make loads of little veg, yeah. But I always find this is like a nice easy way of doing the collies. So you're just going to get a blossom cutter, widen those, and then moisten the centre with water. That's best colour paste, and put that in the centre. And just bring these round. then use your little piping nozzle just to press in to get your little florets. And then you just do another layer, just build it up, so you're making a little collie. Like so. You just give it another layer. Little carrots, all that sort of thing. So then you would put them on your board. The other thing is you can just, I haven't got any orange paste, I don't want to mess around too much, but or you can just cut out little tops, carrot tops, so to a point, sorry, and then cut like so, cut them off and stick them in your garden. So you're just getting lots of little shoots sticking out of there. Right, so I'm not going to cut out any more bits to go on there. That was sort of the basic, and you can go to town, you can have prize carrots and all the rest of it on there, leeks and everything. So I'm just going to put that to one side because I want to cut out now. Oh, I'll just show you this bit here, saying about these. This is our veg set. So the shed that I'm going to make now, this is our little veg set, and we also have a gardening set. So round here, and we have it's veg, and then we have fruit and utensils, and that's got a little frying pan and a spatula and a knife and chicken and ham and all that sort of thing on. And then we've got vegetables. So there's a little bit of everything on here. And all you do with that is mix your dust colour. Let me just have a nice lime green thing here. So all I've done is taken all the veg and embossed them round. So you could do it like a cupcake board even. Anyway, and this one here's got a little trowel and fork.
Yep.
Yeah. And so this is the gardening set. So you've got vegetables, you've got fruit and utensils, and you've got a gardening set. Little packet of seeds, all sorts of things to have fun painting. And you just add your alcohol to that. Now, obviously you can cocoa paint them, like Tracy Mann cocoa paints, and she's just absolutely brilliant. But this is just with dust colour and alcohol mixed together. And I would say when you're painting them in, make sure that you get your brush down into the groove like that, into the edge. You want it, you don't want to just have it on the top. You've got to really make sure that every bit of that is covered. I think that's meant to be a lettuce over there.
It gives it more of a 3D effect, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And you're just getting all your different colours on there. And then a darker green maybe for the
that looks like a bell pepper, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've got one there, where another one somewhere on there. Do you know what? That's an apple, and I've done it as a pepper, but never mind. In my world, it's a
fantasy fruit.
Yeah, fabulous. But yeah, that should be maybe a bit pink. I'll go over it. I can't leave it now. I know it's an apple. So you've got strawberries, little tomatoes, cherries off the fruit one, mushrooms, little collie. There is a pear as well. I haven't got them all on here, there's loads, but it just makes a nice little arrangement. And then you could, if that was your board, and then you have your cake, and then you can put, I'll just lift this little shed on. This is the one I'm going to show you now how to make, but that can go in the middle, like that. And so you've got a nice little cake top for that. So, now this might look a bit complicated, it's so easy, honestly.
I made one.
You did?
I did one for my husband's 60th.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, great. And it's easy, isn't it?
It was once you got used to putting it together, absolutely. I must admit, I really did enjoy making it.
Yeah,
I
that's
really
the
enjoyed
thing.
it.
Yeah. It's the it's just sitting down and having a play, really. But I'm going to show you now how to make one, and then I'm going to show you something at the end that I think you might like. Right, so Just clear the decks.
Well, they're loving this. They love the shed. They're loving your cake board. It's so effective. So remember, ladies, anybody who places an order and puts a patchwork cutter into your order and put into your comments that you've watched Marion's live, you will have the chance of going into a draw to win one of the prizes that Marion's donated to us.
Yeah, nice little cupcake bags. The fan's nice as well, because you also get, with the fan, a little bow and a little tiny flower, which is lovely on top of cupcakes. So, yeah, I'm just going to put that to one side for a minute. What do we drop here? I better do. So clumsy. Right. Okay, put that to one side. So, I'm going to use flour paste now. And
Oh, Des made hers into a birdhouse as well.
well, that's it.
Yeah, well
There's a
done.
picture that comes with it, with instructions, and you can make it into, well, something I'm going to show you after. And you can put, I can't say the word that Karen uses already, can I? Oh, go on, Christmas. You can make it into like a with the reindeer's head coming out of the door,
Yeah.
and it makes a nice kennel. And
I
you
just
can,
say it makes a nice make a nice kennel that for
it does,
yeah.
and you can put you can either make, we've got silhouettes for dogs, but Karen's dog moulds go lovely. You can have an assortment of dogs around it. What else? Oh, houses. You can just do the front of the shed and put them round the side of a cake. I did that for Christmas, and a lantern.
And you can make them, if you did the front bit, you could do it like beach huts.
Have you been looking in my box?
Don't ruin the surprise.
Guess what?
Karen guessed.
No, I know you haven't, because it's hidden. Well, it's not hidden.
I'll leave now.
Or a cat palace.
Right, I'm not going to show you every bit of this, but you get so funny. This is the front and the back of the shed, right? So you need one of those. Now on the instruction sheet, it does show you every bit that you need to make the shed. So you need two fronts, well, a front and a back. Then you need one of these, two of these, one each side. I'll get there in a minute. Okay, so just press firmly so you get a nice pattern, wood grain pattern on there. Then you get this one, so you need two of these. Okay, move that to one side, and those. You need a front and a back. What are these called?
Apexes.
Apex. Oh right, okay. Two of them. Just try and fit that in there. And when you, one sort of tip with this, that when you cut these out, you do want to make sure that you're not going to cut or drag it out of shape, you know. So if you think, oh, I might just go around that with my knife, then do. But when you put them onto I tend to put them onto a cake board to dry, because I can get them all next to each other. But you see, if you dry that, like in that shape, say, think, oh, that's about right. It's not going to fit that. So go back with the cutter and just push it in.
Now you get the correct shape then.
And then you've got your correct shape. Make sure it doesn't stick to your Trexie cutter. And do that with both of them. So you've got two of those drying, right? You have two of these. What are these called?
What? They're the diamonds on the top of the sheds. I've always called them just a diamond.
An embellishment.
No, every shed has them.
They do.
The diamond.
They do. Do you know what? Anyway, you want two of those. We're getting into shed building now. So two of those, I've just scrunched one up. Then on each corner of the shed, there are two of thin strips. So obviously you need 2, 4, 6, 8, and then round the door, down each side, so that's 10, and a shorter one across the top, so you need to cut one down a bit. So it's 10 and a couple of extras. But it's really important that when you cut those out, you keep them straight and you don't pull them, because if you pull that at all, it's not going to fit. Because when this shed goes together, that has to fit on there exactly. It's no good having it up there because the roof won't sit then. So you have got to be, you know, careful that you don't pull things out of shape. So you need 10 of those. The door.
We wouldn't want a shed collapse.
A what?
A shed collapse.
No. Right, so you've got your door. I could have done with pressing a little bit more there, but never mind. So I'm just going, oh, and so this one, where you've got 2 of these, you remove the inner windows. And again, you don't want to, I mean, you can just pull them out, but you've got to be careful that you don't put things out of shape. So get rid of that. But as I say, on the instruction sheet, it tells you exactly how many you need. So you cut round that.
Would this cutter work on a gingerbread house?
I doubt it, because they're very shallow and that's quite thick dough. But, you know, never say never.
Feel free to have a go, Terry.
It's your assignment for December, right?
That would be a shed collapse.
So again, you don't want to just have it like that. You've got to make sure that it is going to fit over there. And sometimes what I do, just to make certain of that, is let me just get this one out. Take this. Sorry, there's bits everywhere here. I don't want to put anyone off having a go, because this is quite.
I love doing it. I really love doing it. And
Once
when I
you
cut
get
all the pieces out, it's then like putting a jigsaw together. You
It
know,
is.
one of those Airfix models. It was like doing that. It was really good.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Right, I'll just put. I have got them all ready to show to put together. I just wanted you to see that it's not sort of difficult. Right, so what I would do with these is I'd get some silver.
Yeah, the hardest bit I found was making it dry before I could put it together.
Yes, I know, you've got to wait, haven't you? Oh, it's in fact, I was doing the beach rust yesterday, and I thought, oh, that roof's not quite dry. I'll put it in the airing cupboard overnight with a note saying, please be careful when you open this. But then I thought, well, Jerry's not going to open an airing cupboard. He doesn't do airing cupboards.
No.
Yeah.
So the note was for you. Please be careful when you open this door.
Just a gentle reminder. So I'm just going over this. Now you could paint it black if you wanted like a really dark interior to your shed. Use a silver. I don't know what on earth I've got here. I've got a silver glittery one. So.
You've got a posh shed then, have you?
Yeah. Lights on new one at home, I think.
Magic inside.
Right, so what you can do before everything's dried is just moisten around the outside edge with some water, and then lift your window frame. And there is a wider and a narrow one, so it's the wider one at the top, and that just fits over nicely, like so. Right? But if you wanted everything to dry, as I'm going to put this one together, then you need to pipe a little icing on there and then put that on. So you've got all your little bits here. You even get this one. I cut out in grey, and I make little steps and things. I've cut out a lot of these to go on the cake for steps, so you can put them down. You can make little pathways, you can put little bits of green in between. So whatever design you want to make, if you're making somebody's shed and it's on an allotment, then you can put the path how they have theirs. There was something else I was going to show you then as well. Oh yes, and the roof. Let me just cut this out. So you're all okay with that. It's just a case of cutting out as many pieces as you need. So what I do with the roof, most of them have, I mean, your shed can be any colour, can't it? They're very colourful now. At one time it was brown and that was it. But now, I said I was going to paint our shed a nice heather colour, and Jerry's face was a picture. What? So I'm hoping he goes out at the weekend. Right, so then I'm just going to texture this, right? And this one, it looks as though it's going to cut it into squares, but they're not. The inner lines are just a support, so it doesn't bend out of shape. So all you're going to get is one part of your roof. Okay. Now if I cut that out and then bashed it, it would go out of shape. So you bash it first and then you cut that out. Now normally they come in narrow strips, the roofing felt. So you can move that down about halfway and ever so gently, because you don't want to cut it through, and it will make a slightly weak point, but you've got that line then. Or you can roll a very thin piece of paste and put that on, or you can just leave it as one plain. I think the one down there is plain and the one over there is marked. But anyway, so you take those and you cut out two and you leave those to dry. Okay. Excuse me. So you've got everything drying, and I've got mine here. Blue pizza. Ta-da!
Here's one I made earlier.
Yeah, I'll just get rid of all this lot. Right, so I'm just going to repaint those windows, and so I'm going to put it together. So you can see, if you put it on a board, everything stays nice and flat. I'll tell you what, do with a bigger brush. I'll use that one. Yeah, so everything stays nice and flat. Right, and the other one, both sides. And when you've dried them overnight, you think they're dry, but flip them over, and you may find that on the other side, there's dark patches, so it hasn't actually thoroughly dried. So just check it before you start putting it together. All right. Okay, so a bag. I coloured some brown paste before we didn't. Now you can, before I do this bit, let me just tidy up again. There you go. Right. Move that. What was I going to say then? Oh, you need to make a little paper pattern. No, I took it off there before.
You did?
A greaseproof paper, wasn't it?
Was it the steps?
No. No. Anyway, I'm going to just cut a piece of greaseproof paper so that you can set it on there then. I had it underneath. Need a pen. Oh, do you know what? I'll just guess it. It's only just to put the icing on when I'm setting it to go. That'll do. On there. It comes off anyway. So I'm going to use a piece of sugar paste. Now, this is just cheap stuff from the local supermarket. And I'm using this because it's really, really soft, horrendously soft in fact. But what you can do is, put it on there, if you press that on, and you press that on, and you press that on, or you can make a paper template. Okay, and then you're going to cut through. Are you looking for a nice big knife?
Yeah, I was going to look for a knife for you.
Thank you. I can do it with this little one, it's okay. So it's all about then keeping... Oh no, I know what I was going to do then. See, it does come back eventually. What you don't want to do is knead that sugar paste, because you want it in a block, and if you knead it, it's really going to start moving about. And if you just leave it as the block you bought, then I've gone a bit short there. You can push it a little bit, but it will still hold the shapes. Right. So what I was going to say before was, if you've got a large brush and some alcohol and brown dust colour.
Well, Carol Kay says, Marion, it's incredible just how much you fit into your demos.
Well, I don't want anyone nodding off.
And Donna's the same as me. She watched you make that piping bag in 0.2 seconds. It took her about an hour to make it. You're not kidding. I made her, I think when I was at one of Marion's classes, Marion had to come and make mine for me because she just saw me. I was nearly sent to the back of the class.
Right, so I'm making this a really sort of wash, just a simple wash, but by going over that, it does bring out the wood grain.
It's
yeah,
lovely, isn't it?
The texture.
Looks great.
So, and you can make them look really old and hillbilly as well. If you've got someone who's got a really old shed, then you know you can put moss growing up it and all sorts. Right, I'm just quickly going over there. I don't want to spend too much time. That's the thing, you see. I always think, oh, you're going to get bored if I sit here and do.
Well, Claire Hardman says, can you go round to her house and paint the garden fence?
I'm doing mine.
Yeah, you'll have to come back and do a what colour do you say? Heather.
Heather.
Heather. Yeah.
Oh, heather shed.
A heather shed. He's reached the point now, Jess, to go, yeah, okay, whatever. As he knows, I probably won't. I'll end up doing something with the kids instead.
Get them into shed painting.
Do you know what? That's just so not a good idea. Right, so you can, as I say, you can just go down. Now, I will say, I am going to show you the beach hut at the end, but painting that in is slightly different, but I will explain about that in a minute. So just go over all that. It does dry out really quickly, and it takes a fair bit, doesn't it? So you just want to give it a nice, make it a bit more interesting than just a. Oh.
It doesn't just bring. I think when you paint it like that, it just brings the grain out. It just makes it look.
The grain. That's
grain.
it. That's the word I was looking for. Just put a bit of alcohol on there, but it's just a bit thick, so I'm just washing it down.
I mean, one of the ladies on it said they had a red cedar shed. I used to have a red cedar shed.
Did you?
Yeah, but you say I used to paint the shed and I used to get it over the grass, over the concrete. I used to get it everywhere. That in the end, my husband said, "Right, we're getting a plastic shed."
Oh. Right. Yeah. I got plastic grass. I know, everybody. I know, but we were finding when we used to do lots of shows, we'd only come back to cut the grass and then we were off again.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, I've got better things or more things I want to do than. That was always Jerry's job anyway, so he has got to do that now. Okay.
And they're saying they'd never be bored watching you. They're engrossed in watching what you're doing.
Well, you say that, you see, only because I'm going fast. But if I was, I don't know. It's just I've always worked that way. And I was an accredited demonstrator years ago for the British Sugarcraft Guild, and because you're only going there once maybe in a few years, you just try and get as much in for people to see.
Yeah.
Than not, you know, you want to.
Well, you want to feel like they're going away thinking they've seen a lot, don't you?
Yeah,
so,
or to have a go. You know, it's
Yeah.
not that difficult. So you gave me a cloth before, a wet one.
I did.
Oh, it's.
I gave you 2.
So you did. You're looking after me, aren't you? Right. So I'm going to put this together now.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
going
ladies, if I can put a shed together and make it, I know you lot can.
I hope so, and I hope you know. I love it when you send pictures of what you've done. And,
It's great, isn't it?
oh, it's lovely. Yeah, it really is. That's a bit soft, but it'll be okay. No piping nozzle in there. Just plonk it in. I've got a bit too much there. I'll come back to that. Left, right, fold it down. Just don't overfill. Right, I think I've squashed that up a bit. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the back of the, well, it doesn't really matter which end. I've gone in at an angle there, so that's not a good idea. I'll do this side first. Right, so you're going to take that and pop that on. And then you're going to do the sides. Oh, the sides. Oh, I tell you what I've forgotten to do. Just before I do those, a little bit of icing. What was that?
That was a lid.
Yeah. So I need to just pop those on in place. So you see, it's a little bit easier if you do it while everything's still, while they're still soft anyway. This should be a slightly smaller hole. Can you see that? Have I moved it out your way? Do tell me. Okay. Must be a nightmare to work with.
Don't you worry.
Right. Okay. And just over, see the icing a bit there, so just tidy it up as you go. Right, so we've got that on. Then you're going to take the side and pop that on. Oh, that's good. That's a little bit too long, so I can trim it as I go. Right, so turn it round, put the other side on, like so. Make sure you get your windows up the right way. Right, now can you see that it's slightly too long? And I have cut that at a wrong angle, so I will just recut that. Let's see. Right, and then I'll just pop that on there. And give it all a nice little push. And then I'm going to pipe. So you've got a few little gaps on the corners, but don't worry about that because I'm going to pipe. Normally I do sit down and have it higher, but I'm okay. So that will go, sorry, I'll turn it around. That'll go that side, and then you'll have one the other side, and as long as they meet. You can always go over with your paint after if you need to make it darker or fill in any white bits. And you can see why now you don't want to have this higher than that bit. I must look up how to make a shed, and then I'll get all the technical terms, won't I? Instead of that bit and then that bit. Okay, so that can go there. Just tidies it up nicely. And then that will go there. That's the short one for the door. hillbilly farmers.
So could you use a cake dummy instead of sugar paste?
Yes, you can, or you can use Rice Krispies and push it into a plastic box, tip it out, and then you can carve it, and you can carve the roof as well then. So you're just literally sticking everything on. The cake dummies you would have to cut, and the little bits do fly everywhere, don't they, when you're cutting a dummy into shape. I don't know about you, but I cut dummies out and you think, where's all that come from?
And a couple of people on here are asking, can I ask, you've used sugar paste for a reason, or could this be cake?
Oh, it could be cake, yeah, it can be cake. But I would cover your cake with sugar paste because your cake is going to be too crumbly. You need a smooth surface. It could be cake covered in chocolate. It's just you need something that's smooth to attach this onto. But the sugar. So at this point, you see, if they're going to keep it as a keepsake, fine. But if they're not, if they're going to smash it up, I just need to pipe along here. I can't pipe and talk at the same time.
That's a steady hand.
No, I've just got big boobs. Rest me hands on my boobs when you're piping. Comes in very handy.
She's
sometimes.
got stabilisers.
Right, so popping that on there. So take it down to the point on there. Just hold it for a sec. Now, you could fill that with sweets or a gift or whatever, a surprise inside there before you put the other side on.
And what size cake would this shed be better on?
Well, I'm going to put it on this one I've done now. And then you can see. It can go on any size.
It could, I mean, it depends on the detail you're going to do with it, but you actually could put it would fit on a 6-inch one as well.
Yeah. It might be a bit tight.
But you wouldn't get a lot of veggies round it, it'd just be a shed.
Yeah. But you could put those on your board if you went a little bit bigger board. Now, just to hold that, I'm just going to just make sure, I can't see from where I'm leaning, but you just want to make sure that your corners are nice and neat. And then to hold that, just going to roll out a piece of green flour paste. Did I use it all before? I think I did.
Is there any over there near your brown?
Oh yeah, it's near the cake.
There you go.
Well spotted. Glad you're there, Karen. Right.
It's quite a lot down
It's,
there. Near the towel.
I think that's sugar paste from the cake. So this needs to be flour paste as well. So all I'm doing is rolling out a strip of paste and then whop it with your texture it there. Then get the roof cutter. Can you see that all right?
Yeah.
Yep. So you press that on, move it down. So you're cutting a strip and you know then that that's going to fit the length of your shed. Let's see. Right, so turn it over and wet it. And then lay that on top, and that will just hold the shed now, the roof in place.
Marion can come to my house, you can felt our roof.
Which one?
You can felt our roof now.
Yeah. And then, it's these two here. So I'm going to these apex. Yeah.
Michelle says, well, Marion, you've made this look so easy.
Well, it is.
It is. It's like
it's just keeping everything, not letting things go out of shape
Yeah.
when you're making them, you know. So I'm putting that on, and if it's slightly higher than the shed, and you see that side, then you can repaint, you know, the little bits that you've missed. down there. I would repaint that, and then you take your little thing, technical term, on there.
Yeah, the roof cutter is included in the set.
Everything in there, yeah.
Everything that you see Marion doing on this shed here is included in the set.
So that goes on there, and then again, either your finger or a brush or your Dresden tool, just tidy that up a little bit. But I would repaint just this inner part here. You could leave it to dry before you paint it, so you're not messing around with things moving. Then you're going to take this little bit here.
Karen Naylor's getting cheeky.
Why? What she
She says,
said?
challenge Marion. Can you put some guttering on?
To put what?
Guttering on it.
Ah! There's a thought. Not unless you want to be here till 11 o'clock, Karen. Now, if you want the door open, what I've done here, I've cut a door out in black paste, and then you can just put that, choose your best side, although both of them need touching up a bit, so I'll just stick that on there so it looks like your door's open, and then you can just pipe a little royal icing down there and that go that side. Oh, before I do that, we just need to trim round the door, so just one of these up that side, and then the shorter one, which is that one, should just snap it off a little bit. And then this is where you stick your reindeer's head out. You could do a split level door, couldn't you, and have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to drain pipe and guttering, this is for you lot to practice with.
Send me your pictures. I tell you what, Karen, you must have a very posh shed in your house. We haven't got. We haven't. Oh, so I suppose you do have.
No, not in our shed. It just runs off the roof.
My mum used to have. My mum used to have guttering because she had a water trough thing, and.
That's where to catch all the rainwater into the
And
water butt.
and the odd squirrel.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just gone to push that in a bit there. Let's see if I can get that out. I've just gone to push that little bit in too far, so it's now at an angle. But anyway, you'll see. Yeah, I had the job of removing the squirrel.
Oh, that's a nice job. Not.
I know, it's been there about 6 months. It wasn't swimming, it was like, it wasn't having a good time.
So not a 6-month holiday.
It didn't have its cosy on, put it that way.
No.
Yeah. Right, so the door's on, but by messing about, I've just pushed that in a bit. So just let that all dry before you start really sort of pushing at it. Okay, so that then would go on top of the cake. Let me see here. Bring this back. I'll put the one that. Oh, I think I just lost me. What did I lose then? The cabbage? I don't know.
No, I think it was
Yeah,
it was that lid that you just kicked.
Yeah, that one. I'm faced with that one time. Right, so I'll use this one that's dry. So I'm going to put that on there. I'll put a bit of icing underneath just to hold it on. Okay, and then all the little grey bits that I cut out. You can just put a path on here if it has a path going off to the steps, and then on each step. I know it's brown, but it doesn't matter. Nobody sees it. You can then put your little. It's got green on there, but it doesn't matter, does it? Because it's grass. Okay. That's a bit wide, that one. I'll put the shallow one on there. And then
they're loving this, absolutely. It's brilliant. The hearts are flying up there for you.
That's lovely. That can go in there. And then you've got the, you know, you can go to town then with all your little bits and bobs. In that set, you do also get a little spade. I can show you how to cut it out, but you do have to be careful. And a little fork. But they can be a bit of a pain, to be honest. You do have to be. You've got to roll your paste really thin. And I've used the spade on this one, so I will show you this other one now. So you can go to town, can't you, on things like this. Round to secure it, I would get that green out again. And I don't know if I've got any left, a little bit. And just do the odd little bits of grass round the bottom of the shed. Just to secure it on and make it a little bit more interesting. So if you've got any bits that you want to cover up, just stick a bit of grass on it like that. Okay, so I'm going to show you the beach hut. Now all I've done with that is I've only put it on a board that's ice, so this could be, let me just move that out of the way. Right. Let's see. Give it. Okay, so firstly I've just iced a board in yellow. Yeah. And I've just bashed it all over with my pot brush to give it the texture of sand. And then I've just put a piece of blue paste around the outside edge there. And then I have taken some of the white royal icing. So this is just the last little bit now, guys.
This looks so nice. Look at that sand.
I know, it's
so effective.
Just a handy pot brush. It's a handy thing to have, isn't it? The texture.
Well, Debbie said we've certainly got a shed load of tips hit there, Marion Frost. It looks amazing.
Oh.
Won't fancy carrying my garden equipment up them steps, says Doe.
Right, so I've just put a little bit of royal icing on there, and then it's just like brush embroidery then. You take a brush that hopefully hasn't got pink all over it, whatever, and start to brush it back. Some of the yellow was on the edge of this sand, so it has gone a little bit yellowy, so you could go over with some white satin, something like that, just to make it extra white. I'm just going to bring that round. Keep working. And then I've made a little, it was a bit of a rush, like 2 o'clock this afternoon I made a little bucket. So take this, and that's the little shovel there. I've sprinkled some of the sugar.
You can't go to the beach and have a bucket and spade, can you not?
No.
And Claire Broad says, that sand makes me want to go to the beach. Me too. But I'm not going this weekend. I mean, the weather's going to be nice, but I know the roads are going to be absolutely chocker.
Oh, is it going to be nice this weekend?
It's going to be nice Friday and Saturday.
Oh,
it's going to be very warm as well.
Oh, excellent. Right, so that's just like a brush embroidered effect around there. And then I just want to explain about the beach hut. So as I say, that's slightly gone off white now, but you can go over. You can go back over. Bit of a high tide over this side. Just take that off. You could do a little jaws thing there, couldn't you? Right, so this is the beach hut then, and it's made exactly the same as the shed. I can see one little bit that needs painting in.
Oh wow.
Okay, so it's made exactly the same as the shed. I've kept the door closed, I've done a grey roof. You can brush that over that with silver, but when you're painting in each piece, start at the bottom and then it's every other one, because if you don't, it doesn't look right. The colour needs to run all the way round, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, and then you can work your way up. And everything else, it's all cut out in white apart from the roof. That's the sugar paste comes up to about there again. And then, so if this was going on like cake, you could have your board like this. You could have your cake iced in the yellow and steps down, so they're coming down to the beach. So this is like a mound of sand and they're coming down to the beach, so you could do your steps the same. But I just thought I'd just do it on a
Well, the Love Hearts are shooting up here for this beach up. They're absolutely loving it. Claire says, wow, awesome, thank you so much. Jacqueline Penfold, that's brilliant.
Lovely.
Love Hearts shooting up the page. Everyone has thoroughly enjoyed this live tonight.
Oh, that's lovely, thank you. And this is your little seagull.
Oh!
So I've made a little seagull to go on the top.
Yeah, you can't have a beach up without a seagull.
You can't.
No.
And he's about, now they usually have long legs, don't they? But this one's just sitting having a think.
He's having to think about it.
He's thinking about, do I like fish and chips, or should I just go for the bushies? So you've got to have a couple of seagulls on there. So that's just a little bit of paste. I'll just show you quickly. They do have a long neck, but this is a very quick little model. But you've got to have seagulls on your shed, on your beach hut. So into a ball, roll it down, and then a tiny bit for the head. Push it up, so hang on, along the neck, push it up, and then pinch the beak out. Now I've got big hands, I've got big swollen hands, so anyone with dainty hands will find this is a doddle. And then pinch the back in, flatten that out, and just use your Dresden tool then to...
Well, Jill Coots just bought her set. It's going to be a mini barn.
Oh!
That's lovely.
Oh,
Lovely,
yeah.
yeah. Put some straw bales outside and that. Oh, how good.
Fabulous. Shredded wheat, here we come. That's brilliant. I'd love to see that. Who's that?
That's Jill Cook.
Oh, Jill. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking for my Dresden tool, but in all this lot, I don't know where it is.
I'm looking.
I know. I found everything else, but I found two of some, but not the Dresden tool. Anyway, okay. So for the tail, I'll use this, but you know, normally a Dresden tool, and you just scrape that out, so you're making like a fluffy, feathery end, and then just try and make it sit up. And then two little wings. Now I would cut that tail down a little bit. So into a cone, flatten, and just scratch the end like that.
So Doe says, is your mind constantly going on the go? Because your ideas are fabulous.
Well, thank you very much, Doe. And there's a Doe saying that to me. I think her mind goes more than mine. Right, so you just stick it, I won't do the other one, but you just stick your little wings on there. One each side, yeah. That would definitely need to be cut down. Where's my little scissors? And then it's the colouring more than anything, because it's grey. Well, it depends on the breed of seagulls, I found. And they do have rather a fierce beak. It sort of bends over a bit.
It is a nasty beak.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm not going to scare the kids.
No.
I'll put another wing that side and then just paint it in and stick it on. So that's it. We're done.
So we're going to bring your shed over again as well. So bring everything over so they can see what you've done.
Okay.
We'll bring your cupcakes in. What a fabulous live tonight. Did you enjoy that, ladies and gentlemen? I've seen the love hearts flying up the page here.
Thank you.
And you've all gave so many lovely comments to Marion here about what an absolutely fabulous live you've done.
Lovely. Thank you.
They've loved it. You've given them loads of ideas. You've just been fabulous live as always. And they love having you here for the Patchwork Corner.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. And I will show the Vegas one. I promise. As soon as I put some in. Right, let's just wipe that down and then I'll get that. Okay.
So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you place an order and you put in a patchwork cutter in your order, you will go into a prize draw for one of the lovely sets that Marion has donated to us. So we have got quite a few sets, and so just put your order in, and the girls will be looking out for patchwork cutters on the orders from any orders that have been placed tonight.
You can tell that that's on a really old board. I didn't bother with the ribbon, but that nice blue ribbon round there, brown ribbon round there, that would do it.
How good do they look? Ooh. They're super, aren't they? And then just do me a favour, just bring your cakes in a little bit so they can see your cakes in your boards.
Okay.
And Mandy Harvey needs a lottery win, Marion.
It's what, sorry?
Mandy Harvey definitely needs a lottery win because she wants some more of your cutters.
Oh, right. Was it Val who no, Viv.
Is it Viv? Yeah.
Viv got the...
Viv, yeah, she said she bought a lot of your cutters because she won that £50 voucher, yeah.
Yeah, she did. She's... yeah, I think that's...
So there we go. That's everything that Marion has shown you today. As always, Marion has absolutely just packed it in, haven't you? You've packed it in.
And it's 9 o'clock. I said I'd try and finish for
so
9.
everything is on the wish list that you've seen Marion use tonight. Our sugar paste is back on the wish list as well. Remember, we are closed for Easter weekend. It's the Easter break. So any orders placed from tonight, we will not be dispatching anything until Tuesday. The first orders will go out Tuesday. So thank you for watching. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant.
That's great.
Beautiful, aren't they?
Thank you.
And just to let you know that again, Carol's Pretty Cupcake Part 3 class is on Wednesday. That's at 7 o'clock. So Claire will be doing a live at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Carol's fitting in an extra live on Tuesday evening. It'll be the first time she's been here in 3 weeks, so she can't wait to see you all. Thursday we have the lovely Laura back in the kitchen doing baking for you. And you can pre-order the mini nifty nozzle. Get my teeth in. The mini nifty nozzle sets of 13 are back on pre-order, as is the 8 set, which is 7 nifty nozzles and 1 of a mini nifty nozzle with it, and it's the Starburst, which you don't get in your 13 set.
No.
So they are all on pre-order, and they are due mid-May. We're hoping to have them in mid-May, so please check the website out if you do want to place an order. But remember, if you are pre-ordering the nozzles, please don't add anything else to your basket, as your order will not be dispatched. So if you are waiting for something really quickly and it's in the basket, your order won't be dispatched. Just put your nozzles in the basket and then check out. And if you need anything else, then go back and place another order.
How did you remember all that? Wow. Where's the auto cue? Nothing you went into it.
So thank you everybody for joining us. Marion, it's been an absolute ball having you here. You are so talented, and thank you.
Thank you.
So much
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute.
Poor Terry chasing me all over the place. But it was great.
It was great.
Did Pat asks a question, Pat S. Wimrow.
Oh yeah.
Karen, will you ask Marion if she found my Picot edge cutter? Picot?
Peacoat.
P-I-C-O-T.
Right. Yes, I have. Somewhere. It is. It is. It's there. I will get it to you, honestly. Email me. Remind me.
That's the best thing,
Reminders.
is it? Yeah, reminders. We need reminders. So that's brilliant. So I think that's all the questions there. Any other questions there? I don't think there is. I think I've managed to answer everything there. Everyone's saying thank you for the live, brilliant live, thank you. Terry, thank you for your marvellous camera skills.
And thanks for having me.
And feeding me. Have a lovely Easter anyway.
Yes, so everybody here, have a wonderful Easter. Don't have too much chocolate on Easter Sunday. I don't know, just go for it.
Lots of rabbits coming out the shed next.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Get me a bit of paste to make a rabbit.
So So thank you. So don't forget, the next live is Tuesday evening, and I think it's in the Make It Bake It group, but the banner will be going up to let you all know. So we'll see you here at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.